Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Coco in the Sun podcast. I am your host, Malika Critchlow, feeling very at peace today. Um, so today we're going to continue with the book, the Magdalene Manuscript, and we are talking about the Ohas. No, what are we talking about? Today we're going to start with. Is it the Kumbhaka and suspension of breathing or alterations in time and space? Or is it the three gunas? I believe the last time we spoke about alteration of time and space. Yeah, so the three gunas we start with and see how far we get. So I think we're in tantric yoga. That's the section we're in. We're not in Taoism yet or Tibetan Buddhist tantra yet. I don't think. All right. So any updates? Not really. I've been pretty calm, which I'm grateful for, and at peace. Just taking it one day at a time. I do get beautiful understandings a lot of the times in my dreams, but sometimes when I'm up, but nothing that I can understand in a way that helps all. It seems to be personal understandings for my life and things that will bring me joy and things I believe that are part of my purpose. It appears to me, I think, that like I said, it builds out from self-love, and then from that, that's following your heart and your heart joys. I think once you get to a certain level of clearing, then it extends to the family. That's what it's looking like. It looks like it's extended to the family I'm born into. Think so everything's like not like, yeah, I think so. I think pretty clear that it is. I don't know when this the opportunities will arise for it to occur. And I think it'll be in the best way for me and for them to interact so that I could be loved in that way without harming myself. But yeah, I think that's the next step I'm in. I also am starting to get interested in gifts. I wasn't really focused on that so much. I think I was really focused on clearing and creating the reality that I wanted. Been curious about what my gifts are, and I understand from the Blu-ray thing that if I did have gifts that they would probably be buried, and due to lifetimes where I got in trouble with them, those lifetimes have not been revealed yet. So I'm not fully aware of what my gifts are, but I am more curious about it. I find that I'm more curious about it in terms of like, how do they also become revealed? Like, how do healers become healers? How do they know they're healers? Having some dreams in regards to that. And then like, how do the healing gifts come online? So do they see themselves doing it in a dream? Do they have teachers in their dreams? Or do they experiment with it? Like, do they go to Reiki healing classes and different modality healing classes, and then their healing abilities reveal themselves? So I'm getting more curious about that, which leads me to think I'm being directed that way based on my natural curiosity. But I don't know. I really don't know. Some people are just to be, and and their lives are examples, and they don't really have to do any healing per se. I don't know what exactly my thing is. I know it would be related to my heart joys and things that I enjoy in some way, right? But yeah, I'm more curious about how that unfolds because I was looking at this guy. I think his name is Paul Selig. I really like his videos too. Well, most of the times. Again, like everything you take with what resonates with you and what doesn't. But he seems like a really genuine guy, authentic. And he was saying, he was talking about his own journey, and he was saying that he was taking training classes for healing when he realized he could hear what the person's spirit was saying. I guess he could tune into the vibration. He said like a radio station. But I believe that occurred for him when he went to classes on how to heal. It wasn't that class in particular. So I don't know if the healing classes help you clear stuff to open up the channels for what your gifts. I don't really know how it works, but I know that I am more curious now. So I don't know what's going on with that. But as far as clear messaging as what I'm supposed to do right now, or in the near future, or whenever it's applicable, I think it's family related, for sure. And yeah. But yeah, nothing like major yet, or that I can say, okay, this happened to me and this is what works for me. So I don't know if this will work for you. Maybe you want to try it if it resonates with you. I don't have anything there yet, just nothing like that yet. But really happy with the communication and the lessons I'm learning and understanding and the things they're showing me and the teachings, and I allow and accept it. And I'm really happy just to be in communication with my guides or my angels, whether it's through synchronicities or dreams or thoughts or YouTube videos or Instagram. So yeah, they've been giving me like synchronicities and things that I want and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool too. Yeah, and everything has its own timing, so I don't really have a timing for that. But I feel more relaxed in letting things unfold, I guess. Yeah. Does anybody have any gifts yet? Or how did your gifts unfold? Like, how did it let you know? I think some people just have like, just have a spontaneous opening of gifts, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have like experienced some gifts in my dream state, even when I'm up, but I don't feel again like I have, like I can do it whenever I want. And I guess that has to do probably with my focus and consciousness. I probably wouldn't need a teacher to help with stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. If anybody has any um feedback on that or experience with it, how it happened for them, please feel free to share in the comments. I'm really curious about it. Okay, so we're reading this book still, the Magdalene Manuscript, and we're going to continue with the Tantric Yoga, the three gunas. I think I should put on my glasses. Okay, so there is another reason meditation and the attainment of samadhi is crucial to the practice of alchemical yogas, including Tantra. I call them the three stooges, but the sacred writings of India call them the three gunas. The three gunas are subatomic forces responsible, according to yogic philosophy, for everything that exists in creation. They are symbolically represented by the Hindu trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The first of these forces is called Raja, meaning king. My dog's name is Raja. This is so funny. And he does behave like a little king. And is responsible for starting an action. It is associated with the god Brahma, who created the universe by uttering the sound Om. Every time I start reading my nose, that's the one, but it'll be fine the whole day. So his consort is the goddess Saraswati, who is associated with the arts and the science. The second of these forces is called Sattva and sustains an action. So one starts an action, Raja starts an action. Sattva maintains an action. It is associated with the god Vishnu, who is responsible for sustaining creation. His consort or female counterpart is Lakshmi, who bestows wealth and beauty. The last of the gunas is tamas. This rather unfashionable guna is responsible for ending an action. It is associated with Shiva, the lord of death. Shiva is also the lord and protector of yogis. His consort is Parvati, the cosmic mother and mother of Ganesha, the destroyer of obstacles. When I talk about tamas in workshops, I mention that people are sometimes afraid of Shiva, frightened by endings, but without destruction, there is no creation. I point out that the three gunas operate at all levels of creation, including our breath. The impulse to take a breath is Raja or Brahma. The act of inhaling is Sattva or Vishnu, and the act of exhaling is Tamas or Shiva. I then tell them to be Brahma by starting to take an inhale, and then I tell them to be Vishnu as they continue the inhale, but then I tell them to avoid becoming Shiva. Whatever they do, don't destroy the breath. But everyone usually starts laughing at the ludicrousness of my suggestion. Our body wisdom understands the need for endings, even if our minds do not. According to one of the earliest sacred texts of India, the Bhagavad Gita, the three gunas are responsible for Maya, illusion. Yogic philosophy states that you and I are deluded. We believe ourselves to be separate beings, but in point of fact, there's only one fundamental consciousness expressing itself through innumerable forms. Your form is only one of them, as is mine. We tend to take ourselves seriously and get upset if someone or something impinges on our little island of self. But all of this is the play of Maya. There is no you and there is no me. There is only the play, lila, of cosmic forces. The yogi or yogini who has attained this detached state of being is said to have attained God realization or unity consciousness. But this is not just a mental attainment. It is a perceptual attainment as well. One who has attained this unified state of consciousness is no longer deluded by the illusion of Maya. He or she sees through the smoke and mirrors of Maya to the self behind all things. And how is this done, you might ask? Well, we do this by getting the three stooges to go to sleep. To be more yogically correct, we might say by getting the gunas to settle into a state of quiescence. I don't know. Sorry, guys, for that pronunciation. If we enter the samadhi deeply enough, the activity of the gunas within our minds calm down. Discursive self-talk slows down and then stops altogether. Fantasies stop being generated from the deeper layers of the mind, and we enter a state of deep quiet. The three stooges have gone to sleep. Then and only then can we catch a glimpse of our deepest innate consciousness, the self. By entering and re-entering meditation over a long period of time, we can attain varying states of samadhi. If we enter the deepest states enough, our minds will be trained to see past the smoke screen of creation. But until we reach this lofty state of mind, we will continue to experience ourselves as separate from each other, victims of the play of Maya. To bring us back full circle, the task of yogic meditation is to enter into deeper and deeper states of samadhi. As we re-experience this liberating awareness over and over again, we slip through the knot of our desires and are freed from the power of Maya. It takes a certain kind of spiritual development to even consider the need for such a radical action. Most people are quite content to pursue their own desires and are simply not interested in seeing behind the illusion. It is crucial to understand that all perception is relative to the state of the perceiver. The state of mind of a yogi who has successfully attained an awareness of the self is very different from the state of mind of someone caught up in the everyday drama of his or her life. Maya is like a television playing a soap opera. Deluded, we continue to watch the show, convinced that it is our lives being played out. The successful yogi is one that has seen that it's just a show, enters the room and turns off the TV. In tantric yoga, the yogi harnesses the power of sexuality to leap through the illusion of Maya, to turn off the TV of limited mind, if you will. But without the detached awareness of samadhi, a tantrika, someone who practices tantric yoga, can easily be overtaken by passions that arise through sexual contact. The goal of tantra is a type of meditation, not hedonism. The tantrika uses sensations that arise during the ritualistic sex as objects of meditation. Without being able to control their passions, tantrikas will not be able to hold the alchemical container of their awareness. Another reason for training in samadhi is that the tantrikas must be able to still the mind enough during the sexual act to directly experience their sensory pleasures as the play of interaction of the three gunas. This takes a very sophisticated level of sensitivity, to say the least. And this level of subtle perception can only be attained through experience with somatic states of awareness, as in meditation. Sexual bliss. Let me be specific here. In the experience of sex, the sensations of pleasure naturally arise. For most of us, this is enough, but not so for the tantrika. He or she is not only entering the sexual experience for pleasure, but also as a means to achieve greater spiritual insight and awareness. A side effect of Tantra is the pleasure states far exceed normal kinds of sex, but this is not the goal. For the Tantrika, the sensations of foreplay are experienced on many levels. First of all, the actual physical sensations and the release of endorphins occur as they do with most of us. But in addition, due to the mental training of a yogi or yogini, the sense of pleasure is experienced against a backdrop of mental stillness or quiet. Discursive thought has stopped. Fantasies cease to be generated by the subconscious, and the practitioner experiences the arising of pleasure in its most subtle aspects. At its subtlest level, the practitioner senses the interaction of the three gunas as the creators of his or her sensory delight. At these very subtle levels of awareness, the slightest touch to a tantric yogi can set off extraordinary cascades of pleasure and bliss. As the brain secretes pleasure hormones such as endorphins and other brain chemicals induced through tantric practice, the tantrikas become highly altered. They become intoxicated with bliss. But this bliss is not just from the sex act. It comes from making contact with the self, the one behind the one who is experiencing the moment. It is the joining of these two blisses that makes Tantra so powerful. And what are these two blisses? They are the bliss of sexual touch and sexual union joined with the bliss of the self, which is, by its nature, blissful without the need of another. The methods of tantric union are quite varied, but most of them require the yogi to hold his seed, avoiding ejaculation as long as possible. This is because the cycles of arousal, sexual tension, and the dissolving of sexual tension without ejaculation propel the yogi into powerful altered states of consciousness. It is thus not unusual for a yogi to make love with his yogini for several hours at a time. The goal of Tantra, unlike the act of sex itself, is not to have an orgasm per se, but to experience the vast multidimensionality of consciousness itself. The ohas. There is another aspect of Tantra that I should explain. It has to do with the transformation of sexual essence into enlightenment. This goal of tuning sexual energy into illumination has some very strong correlations to elements of both ancient Egyptian and Taoist alchemies. In order to explain this, however, I need to discuss yogic anatomy. According to Tantra, there is an energy point near the top and somewhat to the back of the head. It is generally in the area where the hair grows out from its whorl, and some males of certain Hindu lineages shave their heads except for a small circle of hair on this area. It is called the bindu, and it is a kind of energy transformer that collects the higher frequencies available to the practitioner. Yogis would say that this is where the spirit begins its descent into matter. Oh. This energy then steps down in frequency, slows its speed of vibration as it moves down towards the Muladhara, the first chakra. Here it reaches its densest state and becomes the sexual fluids of the individual. According to this view, a man's semen or a woman's egg carry not only their genetic information, but also hold the essence of their spirituality as well. As the male yogi practices alchemical yoga, especially in Tantra, the energetic essence of his semen, as opposed to the semen itself, moves upward into the higher brain centers. This spiritual process is, in many regards, the opposite of the Bindu phenomenon, in which the spiritual energy of the yogi condenses into his sexual fluids. In this case, the energetic essence of the male sperm is transmuted into higher vibrational energies called ohas. The female yogini has a similar process that arises in herself. Ohas has very potent effects on consciousness. Yogis and yoginis who successfully accomplish this alchemical distillation universally report radical changes in perception. Their sense of inner light is dramatically increased, and there is an increase in spiritual insight. These changes are due, no doubt, to complex alterations in brain chemistry. Entering the mythic realm, becoming divinity. Tantric yogis and yoginis go through elaborate preparation for tantric union, including ritualistic bathing, fasting, and meditation. The space for the actual tantra is adorned with things of beauty, flowers, fruit, and assorted foods, as well as beverages believed to have aphrodisiac properties. A crucial part of advanced tantric union is the transformation of the yogini into an embodiment of a goddess, and the transformation of the male into an embodiment of a god. The deities used for this transformation vary according to the lineage that is being practiced, and the methods of metamorphosis are closely guarded. Many of them involve the use of specific mantras, words of power, that hold the vibratory essence of the deity being called upon, as well as yantras, geometric patterns also related to the deity. In addition, the transformation is aided by complex visualizations and occasionally, though not always, through the use of psychoactive plants. Some lineages of Tantra forbid the use of such drugs, since their use during tantric rituals can be dangerous. Finally, before making love, both tantrikas envision themselves to be divine beings. Nothing less than full embodiment of the chosen deities will suffice. At some point, a successful tantric ritual demands that the yogi and yogini be transformed. The change is not imaginary, but it is real as the mythic entering his realm can be. Thus, as the two tantrikas enter into the inner mysteries of Tantra, they are, for all intents and purposes, making love not with a mortal, but with a divine being. This mythic aspect has intense consequences in terms of its transformational effects. It is a key component in advanced tantric ritual, and those who practice Tantra without this component have missed the kernel of the mystery. Okay, so that's the end of Tantric Yoga. And then the next section we will begin is called Taoism. So I don't think I'm going to start that one today. I think I'll end it there for now. I'm surprised that didn't seem like it took a long time to read. That was really good. Maybe it won't take as long to get through it then. Maybe I'll start the next one tomorrow if I feel like I have the energy to do it. So that's it for today. I have no major things really to share, except I'm curious about gifts and healing and how do you know you're a healer? How does it unfold? Do you have to go to a teacher, learn Reiki, and then that helps clear stuff for more things to unfold? Or does it just happen spontaneously? I think both can be true, I suspect, because there's never one way, is there? Anyways, if you can share any light on the topic, I'd be interested to hear about it. I hope you have a great day. I hope you know you are loved, that you are loved, that you take time with yourself, that you listen to yourself and what feels good to you and what doesn't feel good to you, as long as you're not harming anyone else. I hope you have a great week, guys. Bye.